Senator Brandon Smith is pushing back on the argument Kentucky has no drugs available for a lethal injection after the White House has indicated that it will help if needed. So, Representative Bray, I want to start with you here. If the governor says that he doesn't have the authority right now, first, do you believe that? And second, what is your response that you think would be appropriate in this case?
Look, I don't believe that. If the hang-up is on the drugs, President Trump signed an executive order to make them available. The White House has indicated that they would be available. And the fact of the matter is, justice hasn't been carried out. He was convicted by his peers, a jury of his peers, for the brutal murder of a sheriff and a deputy sheriff in Powell County. It's gone on for long enough. He's out of appeals, and it's time to bring an end to it.
Jared, what do you think?
I think this is interesting. I think there's two big questions I want to focus on here. One is, can he legally do it if the circuit court is saying he can't, and the federal White House is saying you can, we'll help you. Legally, where does that put him in? That's just, to me, I'm going to approach it from a different perspective. I've always been anti-death penalty. I don't think it should exist. It costs more than life imprisonment. It usually only is used on minorities and poorer people. And there's definitely evidence that an innocent man was executed in Texas. Cameron Todd Willingham, I believe, is his name. If you want to go research that and read that story, it's terrifying. I just don't believe in it. I don't think it worked. I don't think it's a deterrent. And so from that aspect, it is what it is. The way what it's saying in Frankfort. But Representative Bray is right. He was judged by a jury of his peers. He was sentenced to a sentence, and that sentence has not been carried out. So I understand that.
So he's been on death row for years. Why have this conversation right now? Why is it coming up now?
I think when we look nationally at the climate of crime kind of being out of control, it's a huge topic of conversation. President Trump ran a campaign on crime. He sent the federal troops into D.C. under his authority as president. So, and then the assassination of Charlie Kirk has put all of this front and center. And so, I think that citizens are tired of seeing it, tired of reading about it, and we're looking for answers. I'm a believer in the death penalty. I think it is a deterrent. The fact that we've not had an execution in the state since 1994, even though we're a death penalty state, it's kind of concerning to me. But we all want safer cities. We all want a safer Commonwealth for not only ourselves, our family, and our neighbors. And I think the death penalty plays a role in that.
Do you see it the same way?
No, I don't think the death. I will respectfully just disagree. I don't think the death penalty is a deterrent.
As for the why it's being brought up now,
I think I do agree with you. I do think public safety. There's political violence on both sides of Minnesota lawmakers. The left-leaning judge in South Carolina had her house firebombed, as well as the unnecessary and horrible assassination of Charlie Kirk. We all just want to see it stop. Please, just stop it. Everybody, let's take 2 steps back. Let's calm down. I think Senator Chris McDaniel, a member of your party, had a great statement about what's going on up in Boone County. Democrats aren't evil. They're the people you go to church with. They're the people that are in your grocery stores. They're the people you work with. Everybody, I don't agree with anything they say, but they're still your neighbors. Everybody calm down.
Now, this injunction, it has been in place since 2010. It's 15 years. Now, we may have to peel back a layer of just how all of the legal processes and stuff kind of play out, but is that normal? Is 15 years a bit too long for us to sort of wait and figure out how we should proceed when it comes to how the state handles executions?
I don't think so, and I think you'll probably see some action this upcoming session to kind of reevaluate that. And if the legislature needs to take steps to move things along or fix an issue, I think you'll see us taking a really close look at that.
Does the timeline also shock you?
That's one of my complaints about the death penalty is it takes so long to go through all these appeals and do all of this stuff, and it's just like it costs more money than life in prison. Now, there are people that do horrendous crimes, and yeah, I'm gonna kind of have my cake and eat it both ways. They get in prison and somebody does some justice to them inside prison. I'm not going to complain about that. I understand I'm looking a little hypocritical here, but I don't think the state has the right to take a life. That's my point.
Well, just a couple seconds left here, Representative Bray. Is there any more that you can sort of tease to give us an indication of what we may see in the General Assembly next year?
No, I mean, the conversation's so new. I do know there's several lawmakers looking at it as we speak.
All right, we'll have to wait and see.